God talks about it. But I want to start out by
Number
letting
one,
you know
it provides
why
for
I
God's
tithe.
house. Number two, it tells God I trust him.
Number one,
Number three, it creates margin in my life for God to fill.
Number two,
Number four, it reminds me that I am not my source. Number five, it connects my money to a kingdom purpose. Number six, it gives my job eternal significance. Number seven, it transforms my money into a seed. Number eight, it breaks greed and self-reliance off of my heart. And number nine, it lets everything else in my life know that God is
my money
first.
into a
Hear me. Tithing isn't an act of generosity. Let me say it again. Tithing is not an act of generosity. It's an act of obedience. For I am indebted to God because of his radical generosity towards me. And the least that I can do is be obedient with that which he has so freely entrusted me with. And I would venture to say that in the Church of Jesus Christ today, we don't have a money problem. We don't got a stock market problem. We don't got an economic problem. We don't got a Joe Biden Democrat problem. We don't got a Trump Republican problem. We have an obedience problem. And here's the reality. No, God will never need my money. He has streets paved with gold. He sits on a golden throne in front of a glassy sea. It is me who needs an open window of heaven over my life, which is activated by my obedience in giving my first and best to God.
God don't need nothing from you, baby. What God's trying to do is get something into you. Tithing is super important, but can I be really honest with you? It's one thing you don't have to pray about. You never have to pray, well, shall I tell the truth? Shall I love my spouse? No, you just do it. You don't actually have to pray about tithing. It's an act of joyful obedience. Tithing is important, no doubt about it, but we don't want to stop there, do we? Just imagine if my wife felt that all I did was the minimum for our relationship. It wouldn't be much of a relationship, right? Tithing's like what I would call the training wheels. That's why good parents, I suggest, would teach their children to tithe no matter how much money they get. I still remember as a little boy delivering the New Zealand Heralds, roll them up and put them in those things called letterboxes, and earning, I don't know, $3 or $4 a week. And my mother would say, pay me 10%, pay God 10%, go to the dairy and buy a packet of lollies for 10% and save 70%. She was instilling this principle which has held me strong and steady, not just through my life, but through my children. And I hope and trust to my children's children. So if you want to start riding the great adventure of exciting Christianity into the miracle zone, we only need to look at the handiwork of our God, the expansive skies, the beautiful vistas, the oceans, the majestic mountains. When we look at all the birds, the varieties of birds and fish and animals, we see unlimited reflections and reminders of one of God's greatest attributes. He is outrageously generous. Outrageously. I mean, why produce 1 million varieties of fish? Why not go for 10 billion? I don't know. God just loves generosity. Today I want to just talk about the foundations of a generous heart.